Yo, what's up? It's Pico over here in Singapore. I just want to holler at y'all for your Thanksgiving weekend and check in on you guys. It is Thursday night, and today was a little different. I know I talked to you about comfort zones a lot, and we all know nothing grows in a comfort zone. But I do want to talk to you about routines a little bit. I think in a way, I need a routine to kind of organize my time a little bit better, or I get scatterbrained real quick. I could do this or I could do that, and I don't know what to do first. So, in order to prioritize my time, a lot of days I depend on a routine. Like in the mornings, I know I gotta get up, I gotta pray, I gotta set the kettle to boil, get baby girl's breakfast ready before I even wake her up, or it's gonna take me like 10 minutes to get her out of bed, and then suddenly like my day is kind of shifted. The timing is kind of shifted. I'm already late. So I kind of depend on those little routines to keep me going, to keep me, in check a little bit. And I guess those parts of my routine, the ones that I can count on, the parts that I have to do in a particular order, I've tried every other method, and this is the best way for me to get these things done. So, yes, it's kind of like a comfort zone, but it is kind of helpful as well, because the rest of my day is about growth. That's one example. Going to work. I know that as soon as I get to work, as office manager, I need to go ahead and run through the whole building, clean up as much as I can, restock, set water to boil again, clean off the tables, make sure the trash cans are fairly empty, nothing stinks in the office, because the night before, who knows who was there and ate and left stuff everywhere. So I need to clean up. I need to reset so that the office is ready for use when the kids come in for tuition. And then after that, the next thing I know I need to get done so I can get it done early is to pull all the leads from all of our Facebook ads and organize them. So once I organize them, put them in a place where everyone can access them, everyone knows what's going on. If they need to go check in, that's the next thing I need to do. After that, it's really up to, whatever's going on that day. So if I need to go for training, if I need to go to the other center, I have space to do all those things. So in a way, routines really help. When I get home, for example, I know the first thing I need to do is make sure my daughter puts all of her clothes, because they're expected to change their clothes halfway through the day at school. Most of them take showers. I've told them I don't want her to take a shower at school. And actually, knock on wood, she's been able to avoid hand, foot, and mouth disease as a result. So anyway, all the clothes that she wore that day, usually the first set of clothes that she wore is in the bag, in like a plastic bag as dirty clothes or whatever, and then the ones she's wearing. So I normally make sure she gets home, takes all that stuff and puts it in the wash while I start setting up for dinner. Because most times I want her to take a shower as soon as she comes home from school, but lately she's been pushing about that. She doesn't want to do that right away. So I set up for dinner, and we'll have dinner together, and then I give her a bath. Depending on how much of a fuss she puts up, how late we end up getting in the bed, she can either get a story, like I'll read her a story to go to bed, or I just have to make sure that she goes to bed. But those are the little parts of my day that are routine, that I need to stay as a routine. It's kind of stuff that revolves around her, basically. I need her taken care of to a degree that once she's settled, either sleeping or on her way to school or eating while I get dressed, whatever it is, once she's settled, I can actually go about my day and do whatever I need to do. So yeah, as a mom, I depend on routines. Yes, I do believe in growth. I don't like comfort zones, but a lot of times I don't have a lot of room for those things. So it's normally when she's asleep or I'm at work, that all of my growth happens, where all of my growth happens. So, like right now, I went to put her to sleep and she was having trouble and she was like crying about this, that, and the other. And I was like, look, come on, stop. For some reason, she's in this kick about nothing's ever good enough. She's not happy with where she is. And I'm trying to tell her, look, you're 6. You have a lot to be thankful for. And you need to stop thinking about all the negative things in your life. So we had a big debate about that. And lately, she doesn't go to sleep without crying about something or the other. And then I end up falling asleep just to put her to sleep, which is exactly what happened. Luckily, I've been setting my alarm lately for 11:30 to make sure that I sleep for a pretty good amount of time, but then I'm able to wake up and get all of my podcast work and business work done as well. Because God knows, left to my own devices without that alarm, I wouldn't have woken up until tomorrow morning. So, as much as I do feel that comfort zones are a place of stagnation, there are portions of my day where I depend on a routine. And yes, I use a different word on purpose. I depend on a routine. I need to know how to organize my day because I feel like if there was too much time left to me open, I probably wouldn't get anything done. I'm one of those people that really needs tons and tons and tons of things to do, not enough time to do it, lots of deadlines. I need to be under pressure in order for me to get the most amount of work done. That's what I've noticed for myself. I mean, going forward, maybe I could change that about myself, but for now, I need to be under pressure. Because I've noticed that if I have too much time on my hands, I don't get enough done. Like, for example, today I went to, I had to go to Eastgate for work. I didn't have to be there until 12. Unfortunately, I got there a little bit late, but I have to go there till 12. So what did I do? I dropped her off at 8:30 as usual because she had practice today. She had rehearsal for her graduation performance. Dropped her off at 8:30, and there's no point in me rushing off to Eastgate right away because it's 8:30. I don't need to be there till 12. So I actually hitched my butt back home, and once I got home, I did a couple other things. There are a couple other things on my list that I wanted to get done. So I worked on the podcast a little bit, converting it to YouTube. I actually dyed my hair. Just a couple of things. So I didn't have a lot of time. By the time I got back home, I actually stopped by the grocery store, picked up a couple of things. She needed new snacks, so I went to go get snacks real quick. By the time I got back home, it was about 9:30. And I know I needed to leave by 11:15 at the latest to get there by 12. So that didn't leave a lot of time. I went ahead and prepped my hair. My hair takes 25 minutes to settle, like for the gel coloring or whatever to soak through the hair. And in those 25 minutes, I got a lot done. So washed my hair at that point and then started getting dressed. And finally I left at about 11:15. I left the house. I should have been at the bus stop by then, but I had left the house a little bit late. Got to work. Sat down, did all of the work that I needed to do. Eventually, I was told that they needed to go to a meeting, so I left. And I came back home and I finished my work. So when I got back home, I called all the leads. I organized all the spreadsheets. And then from there, I did more work on my podcast. So by about 4:30, 4:45, I left the house to go pick baby girl up. Today, I think I mentioned in my gratefulness episode that she was really upset when she woke up. She woke up and she was in tears already. I don't know what it is. Like lately she's been very, very like emotional, teary-eyed. I don't know if it's Scorpio or what, but very emotional, and I couldn't figure out why. And I think it's like the impending graduation, the idea that some of these kids won't come back after the graduation. She won't see these people. I think she's just feeling a little bit, overwhelmed. So I decided I'd go pick her up early. We'd go for a date. I needed to pick up some mushrooms. The only place I can find these particular porcini mushrooms are in Orchard. Excuse me. So I decided, all right, well, why don't we go make an evening of it? We'll go down to Orchard, visit the Grand Hyatt, meet all my old, colleagues and stuff, just say hi, go have dinner down in my favorite Thai food restaurant in Far East Square, and then pick up the mushrooms and go home. So that's exactly what we did. We kind of walked around a little bit, enjoyed ourselves, and she was super excited because it's different. We changed our routine a little bit. Instead of just coming straight home and watching TV, we decided we'd go out, enjoy some fresh air, see some people, shake hands, smile, catch up with people, go eat, and then come back home. So I'm hoping that put a smile on her face, but as usual, she was upset again. She's been thinking about the future a lot lately, and she's just overwhelmed, I think. I think that's really what it is. The idea of going to primary school, the idea that she won't see her favorite teacher from K2 anymore, the idea that those kids, they might not all be there. The class is already small. It's a class of 9. And if some of these kids decide not to come back after the graduation performance, because, it's holidays already in Singapore. December is usually a holiday month, so they don't have to be in school. Although it's a daycare format, they could be, but they don't have to be. So I'm not sure how many people come back. I know she will be in daycare, only because I feel like she'd enjoy it more than being at work with me for the remainder of the month. So, yeah. I thought I'd give her a treat. It worked for a little while, but then she was back to her very, analytical Gemini self, half happy, half sad, and we'll work on that again tomorrow, I guess. We have a late morning tomorrow. She doesn't have to be at school till 11 because they're going to, get dressed at the center and go straight to Republic Poly for the graduation. And then I am going to meet my sister-in-law and go up there as well. So routines, they help me as a mom, really. Because if I didn't have some kind of a routine, I'd be scatterbrained. I'd start doing this and realize how to do that. And this kind of organizes my priorities and my time as well. So there's certain things that I cannot change because based on our schedules, this needs to happen at a certain time in a certain order in order for me to be as prepared as I can be as a mom. Obviously, there are always pop-ups because you're a mom. She's going to change your day. She's going to have issues. She's going to not feel good. She's going to drag her feet. She's going to have attitude. It could be any of a million things. So any of you moms out there, you definitely know what I'm talking about. It really does depend on your kids. But to have a routine helps them as much as it helps you because they know what to expect. It's important for them to know what to expect so that they can realize that there's certain things they can't really argue around. They have to get it done. And then, the other pieces, for the most part, I try not to tell her anything because my plans change so much. And she's one of those people that gets her heart set on whatever you've told her, and then she gets super upset if anything changes. And that's even like by 5 minutes, if anything changes, she'll flip out. So she knows the routines. Anything else I tend to use it as a surprise. And I won't tell her any of the details. I just ask her, look, are you coming or not? And she say, yes, I'm coming. You should be excited. So it doesn't matter what I say or what I do or what I planned. She doesn't know the details. She doesn't get upset, therefore, if I do have to change the plans because it's still a surprise to her. It's still exciting to her. So that's something I learned with my stepdaughter because she was the same way. She'd get really upset if anything changed. So I keep a lot of the plans to myself, but the routine really matters. And I don't know. I hope you realize that there are certain parts of your life where, it needs to be predictable based on the fact that it's predictable that you need to be at work by a certain time. You need to focus at certain times of the day, stuff like that. So in the meantime, though, never stop pushing for growth. I am constantly trying to download new content into my head. Either it's Audible, either a podcast, YouTube tutorials, Instagram videos, quotes, like any of those things, anything that's new, that's improved, that's another way for me to think, another angle for me to consider. Those are the kinds of things that I use for my own growth. But those routines, they really do help me. They help me to get through my day. They help me on those days where I'm not feeling it. I'm emotionally drained. I'm upset. I had a fight with somebody or somebody's ignoring me, whatever the point is. If I'm upset, those routines help me get through the day. Because God knows all I want to do is sit and wallow sometimes, but I don't have that luxury. I have to keep moving. I have to get up. There's a little girl that depends on me, you guys, so the routine really does help, okay? That's all for tonight. I do hope you have a safe Thanksgiving. Enjoy the weekend, you guys. Stay safe. I've been saying it all the last couple of days. Be patient with everybody, and just watch your words before you let them come out because you can't take them back once you do. Anyway, I'm going to go. I will catch you tomorrow, and y'all take care. Bye.